Hey guys, so we got a call yesterday that we got accepted into the Ellen Barron Sleep School, so very excited about that. Juniper, my 10-month-old, is a terrible sleeper. I thought I knew some tips and tricks. She's my second child. I followed a schedule that I purchased for my first one, and she just does not sleep. She wakes up consistently during the night, every 45 minutes to an hour. She doesn't sleep too much during the day. She goes down awake and then wakes up all night long, and nothing will settle her. It's a struggle. So I'm barely sleeping. Anyway, so we got referred to the Ellen Barron Center, and they have accepted us, and so now we just have to wait for our call. So the waiting list is up to 3 months long, but we're on the cancellation late notice list. So any Monday they could call and say, hey, come in today. So we need to be prepared. So I have to pack, and there's a pretty extensive list. There's a heap of stuff, and we literally have to be ready to go at a moment's notice. So I'm going to pack as much as I can now, just so it's there ready, kind of like packing a hospital bag for when you're gonna have a baby, I guess. I've packed 15 bibs, so I've kind of accounted for one per meal. 2 pairs of socks, 2 pairs of shorts, 3 pairs of leggings, 5 pairs of pajamas. She has 5 going out outfits, plus a jumper, and then 2 vests as well for in case it's cold. So that's pretty much all of Junie's clothing that I'm going to pack. And then I do have the 2 creams there as well. She gets some eczema flare-ups. I'm going to have to purchase spare nappies and wipes on the next grocery shop to pack. It is Junie's. You're unfolding everything Mummy's just folded. Oh, hello, this is a problem child. Boo! A boo! A boo! 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 A boo! A boo! A boo! 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 Hello. Oh, grumpy gills. She's got that top tooth. It's gonna come in soon, right? Hey guys, so a bit of an update. We're in our room. I'm just talking quietly because Juniper's asleep and I don't know how soundproof these walls are, so apologies if you can't hear me too well. But yeah, it was really hectic. So as you guys would have seen, I had everything ready for her stay. I packed our bags, I had everything ready to go. I've been really prepared, and then as you would have also seen, we lost our house due to a crazy storm. Long story short, what I actually needed to bring was not in that bag anymore. And then I got a call saying, your spot has come up. Are you going to take it? And I was like, oh, it's a really bad time. What happens if I say no? And they were like, you put it at the bottom of the list. And I was kind of like, okay, I'll take it. And they were like, okay, cool. You've got 2 hours to be here. And bear in mind, it's a Monday. I was due at work in an hour. The bag was not packed. Juniper was at daycare. It was stressful to say the least. So yeah, we've taken a tour around the centre. We are free to come and go as we want during the day, pretty much. There's a big playground in the middle. There's a toy room. There's the dining hall. All meals are catered for, but I did bring some food, but they are assuring me they can cater for our allergies, so that's really good. So both me and Juniper are fed while we're here. Yeah, seems pretty good so far. Keep you guys updated. Hey guys, so I'm looking a little worse for wear. It's 6:30 in the morning. Juniper is still asleep. Last night was like half like really good and then half what I expected. So she slept from 7 until midnight straight, and that doesn't happen. Like, I can't remember the last time. At 12, she started to stir. They said, okay, feed her both sides, put her back down, awake. So I did that. She cried out a few times after I put her back down, but she went back to sleep, and then she woke up at 3. I fed her, I put her back in, she cried immediately. I stood next to her bed and patted the mattress, which is what they had me do to put her to sleep. I patted the mattress for like 10 minutes. I thought she was asleep, but as I left the room, she started to cry, so I went back to the nurse's station and they said, okay, well, this is where we try and get her to sleep on her own. So a little bit tired, but not the worst night. The fact that she's still asleep is really nice, because typically even if she'd been awake, she would be up by like 5:30, so that's good. So see what today brings. Junie! Clap, clap! Clap, clap! Good girl! Good job! Look. Okay, ready? My shoulders, my knees, my toes, my head, my shoulders, my knees, my toes, my head, my shoulders, my knees, my toes, my toes. Hey guys, so night 2 update. I'm not looking like as worse for wear as I was yesterday, but Junie's just gone down for her second nap, so but yeah, last night was kind of the same as the previous night. She slept a bit longer, so she made it through to 1 a.m. before she woke up last night. And then at 1 I went and spoke to the nurses, and they said, yep, feed her both sides, which I did. Put her back in bed at like 1:20, and then it was a fight. She did not want to go back to sleep. Prior to this, she wakes up constantly, so I would have already spent multiple times sitting next to her bed, patting her, getting her back to sleep. So by the time it's midnight or 1, I'm too tired to even try to keep her in bed. But now that she's kind of sleeping through to 1, it's a bit easier for me to stay up, and I got the ability to like wait her out and help her through it. She was up from 1 until almost 3, but then from 3 she slept through to 6. So technically she only woke up once. It's just she was up for 2 hours. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where she's at by the end of it as well. See, that's where we're at for day 3. Hey guys, so it's been a few days, actually it's been almost a week since we came home from the Ellen Barron Centre, so I just thought I'd do a bit of a wrap up of my whole experience at the centre, what the results been, that kind of thing. I know that while I was like recording there, it wasn't the best footage. I was talking really quietly for fear of like waking a baby up, so it wasn't really easy to hear. But yeah, it was a really great experience, like cannot fault it, very glad I went. Junie, before we went, was pretty much like in our bed all night long, wouldn't stay in her cot, pretty much like feeding all night long, waking 10 to 12 times a night. Like, it was not sustainable at all, and naps were like half an hour long. So really happy we went, because I think, like, I had tried to sleep train her in the past, but it was a lot of crying, falling asleep for half an hour, waking up again, letting her cry again. Like, I just couldn't do it. Like, by the time it gets to 12, I didn't have it in me to spend more time trying to settle her. So I'm really glad I didn't attempt to just let her cry it out, because I learnt a lot at the sleep school about what her different cries meant, when it was time to go in, when it was time to not. The main things I found that I learned at the sleep centre was understanding the different kind of cries she was making, when it was time to intervene, when it was time to like kind of let her be
let her work it out herself. A lot of the times when I was intervening at home, she was actually like probably didn't need me to go in. She would have put herself back to sleep, which I learned while I was there, but I always went in the second she started crying because I figured the more she cried, the more awake she would be. Just the fact that there was somebody there to be with me during the night wakes, to give support and to encourage me and kind of like give me advice of if I should go in, if I should leave her, and also like they would help settling if she was like really upset, so I didn't have to be the one doing it the whole time, because it is kind of mentally exhausting when your baby's crying for 2 hours and won't settle. And it was a bit of a process breaking that feed to sleep association, which I knew she had. I knew that she had this association, and it would be tough to break, and I don't think I could have had it in me to break it at home, because it did involve sitting awake for 2 hours at night. But it was easier to do it at the sleep school because you knew that you didn't have to deal with daily life the next day, and you knew that you had someone there to tell you like what to do pretty much. What else they helped me with was putting her on a schedule. So they gave me like a nap schedule to put her on for her age, and they gave me a feed schedule to put her on because I was still feeding her whenever she wanted during the day, and that could be up to like every hour. And they were like, she is 11 months old, she needs to be getting food and water, and yes, you can still feed her, but it does not need to be on demand like a newborn. And so they kind of put me on a schedule to feed her 4 times a day, so once on wake, once before bed, and twice during the day, and it was always after naps, so she wasn't relying on breast at all to go back to sleep or to go to sleep for naps. So that was really nice to get that consistency, and just the fact that you're in that environment where your only focus is your child. Like, you're not distracted by your house, your toddler, your everyday life, work, etc. Like, you're literally there to focus on sleep, and it gives you the foundation to then continue when you're outside. So definitely 100% recommended. If anyone is struggling with sleep, there is nothing wrong with like doing this. Like, all you have to do is go to your GP, explain what struggles you're having. If they think you need it, they will give you a referral to the Ellen Barron Centre, and then you just have to wait for your spot to come up. I really can't fault them. It's all catered for, all meals are covered. They're so lovely. They're really, really supportive. They still encourage feeding. They still encourage like attachment parenting. They don't really encourage crying it out. They just help you teach your baby to sleep without something else putting them to sleep. And they got rid of her dummy, which I wasn't even aware was like an issue. Like, to me, I was like, you know, she's fine, she doesn't cry for her dummy, but got rid of it. And since we've come home, she's pretty much sleeping through, like all the way to 4 or 5 in the morning, which is just incredible. Like, I felt like this day never would come. I've got my nights back now. It's really given me my sanity back. So that's my wrap up of the sleep school. I highly recommend it if you have anything like that. Otherwise, I definitely recommend, like, at home, getting your kid on a schedule. And I know everyone says it's natural, and if you like doing it, fine, but if your baby wakes a lot for boob at night and you don't particularly want to continue it, you do have to break that association. And I knew I had to. I knew all I needed was the support, but yeah, you probably will. They won't grow out of it on their own because that's what they've learned to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helps some mummies out there that are struggling with sleep like I was. If you like this kind of content, please feel free to subscribe. I post all kinds of mummy related things, and I would love to have you. And I'm going to leave it there. Thanks, guys.